Psalm 2, we have here a condemnation of man's revolt against God, both in this life and finally when the Lord Jesus returns to the earth. The men of this world say, let's break their bonds apart and cast their cords from us. That's man, resenting what he feels are the ties that bind in terms of serving God and the Lord Jesus. But the law of God is not a chain. It's not a leash, because man is not a dog. All God's laws are to give us freedom in the end. That's why David says, I will run in the way of your commandments. There is great freedom and peace to those who love your law. But at first blush, man encounters the idea of laws. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want to be under God's principles. I don't want these ties that bind. Let's break these bonds apart. Let's be free. But Paul says that you're either a slave to sin or a slave to the Lord Jesus. It's slavery, one way or the other. If you break away from the ties that bind you to God, you do not have freedom. This is an illusion. You are enslaved to your own flesh. And flesh and sin is a hard taskmaster that pays the wages of death. Whereas we are called, yes, to change masters. I'm still a slave. But at baptism, we change. We are now slaves and servants of God and of the Lord Jesus. And for freedom did Christ set us free. We are free from servitude to sin and death. But we are still his servants, the servants of God and of Jesus, but we are promised what Paul calls in Romans the glorious liberty of the children of God, the glorious freedom. That is what we will be given, a freedom that is beyond human imagination and conception. So don't chafe at the ties that bind. Humble yourself and realize that the only option to throwing off your responsibility to God is to chain yourself to sin, to the way of this flesh. But it's God's purpose to bring us to be his absolutely freestanding children with the ultimate freedom of the sons of God.